How's it going, guys? Happy Cinco de Mayo to you guys. So yeah, let's go and check in on some of the stocks that really took off today. RTTR, a really big one, taking off from the beginning of the morning, 113% gain if you would have bought and sold at the top. But we have this clear uptrend on the 5-minute chart, followed by a high, then a low, and then we had a higher high and a lower high. So yeah, pretty much all day, you could have bought this. Also, you could have had a good dip buy there as well. But yeah, I just want to zoom out here, get a better picture. And as you can see, it pretty much, when it came down, let's see what kind of a pullback was that? It's 22% pullback. Definitely could have bought that dip buy. I see this a lot, like you see a big run up in the morning and then you get a pullback. And then we usually end up pretty much gaining all of that back. It almost did a double top here, but then we ended up breaking out. But I believe after hours, this thing did come down. And one thing that I look at too is if you go back and you look pretty much like every time this thing is spiked, you pretty much see it come back down pretty much immediately. So I don't think this is really going to be something long term. I would go in for quick scalps, get some percentage gains, and take your profits pretty quick on that. So that's what I would do. Going into Clsk. Yeah, pretty much this morning, we saw a gap up and then followed by a high of 280. And then if you would have, say you would have missed this initial run up, you had, pretty much we tested it again, 280, didn't break, and then when we finally did break on this breakout here, you could have bought it then. And I believe I was also actually buying in this breakout here. I didn't capture. I think I bought it a couple times. I think I bought it and sold somewhere in this area, and then I rebought again here, sold in the spike here. So yeah, you can do that. You can buy a couple times, but if you would have captured pretty much most of it, you're looking at 56% gain there. And let's say you missed that again, you had another chance here. Pretty much dip buy it here at about 280, back at support. And I believe this thing is up after hours from the 280 as well. So definitely a couple buying entries that you guys could have had there. I also look at volume as well on the entry point. As you can see, we had a lot of this really good green volume spikes here. Especially when the breakout happens, you want to look at volume as well, because we had this big push with the volume, 36,000 on the volume, and then when we got the second push here with the volume, 42,000, 52,000, the volume is coming in. Definitely gave it enough for this push upward. And so yeah, look at key resistance here at 280, bouncing pretty much at 280. So that's what I'm looking for on Clsk. And then Mvis. So I traded this one as well. I actually held this one overnight. So yesterday, I was talking about equilibrium playing out with a high, a low, lower high, higher low, and ended up breaking, pretty much this breakout here of 109. End of the day, so it's very bullish in my opinion, especially with the Microsoft news. So they make technology for the HoloLens, and a lot of rumors coming out that they're going to buy the company or partner with them. They're also going to have earnings coming out Thursday. So I think this thing, in my opinion, is probably going to be one of the best plays to play all week. So this is definitely one of the biggest ones I'm going to be looking at all week. But yeah, ended up buying end of the day, selling pre-market, for 50-something% gain. But yeah, even if you didn't buy that, you could have bought this dip here first thing in the morning, which you see a lot, like a 26% profit you could have made on that. And then we pretty much came down, downtrending for most of the day until we saw this big drop. And when this big drop happened, 99 cents, most of this support here is at pretty much $1. So $1 was definitely some psychological support. We had a huge support, a huge volume coming in at 319,000 on the volume. every time you really get a big drop like that, you're going to see a pretty good bounce too. So definitely anticipating this bounce happen. I believe it also happened on Mark. You'll see both of them are pretty similar. And so yeah, you could have bought that bounce dip as well, you know, and got a pretty good gain if you would have captured all of it, 37%. So definitely multiple entries on a lot of these stocks. And let me go and show you guys. Well, let's look at the daily. But yeah, daily, huge gaps ups, right? So let me go and show you guys on Mark as well. But yeah, Mark in this huge uptrend you guys see there, and I believe Mark was also having these came down pretty much the same time. You could have bought, you know, for a dip as well. So we were pretty much uptrending all day yesterday, you know, like a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and we created the lower low, and that's when this trend of the uptrend broke, and then we saw a lower high followed by a lower low, and it's pretty much so on. We did get a little bit of a higher low there, but followed again by a lower low. So then we're looking at support right here at about 60 cents, which we are pretty close to 60 cents, followed by RSI. We are under the 30, so it was definitely a sign that we're getting oversold. So I'm not sure how this did after hours, but if anything, it's looking very close to a dip buy there. So it's kind of how I would play that. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking at going into tomorrow. So these are really the ones that I'm going to be looking at, but something new always does pop up pretty much every day on my radar. So that's kind of what I'm looking at these. That's what I'm playing. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.